It's the book of AlphaRonomy, homie. Read it or weep. Throughout my trials and travels, I've come to one universal truth. And the realization of this truth is quite a shock to one's sensory perception. And that reality is that people don't change. Men, women, people don't change. You are who you are. Though certain environmental circumstances or societal pressures may cause an individual to suppress his or her authentic self for the benefit of whatever process they're going through at the present time, or whatever thing it is that they're trying to accomplish or goal they're trying to achieve, the underlying being is still the same. I had a partner who decided that he wanted to be with a woman to the extent that he was willing to change for her. The change that he had to make was becoming a church-going man who had previously sworn off the church, detested the church and everything that it stood for. But in order to be with this woman, he decided that it was a necessary change. He carried this out for months, close to a year. And he had everyone fooled except himself, because you can never fool yourself. His God, who you can never fool, and me, because no one can ever convince me that they have made a complete 180-degree turn from who they are. You know, you are who you are. There are hereditary things that make up who you are. When you take the sum of your parents and whatever grandparent influence there is from your paternal grandparent and your maternal grandparent, and then you think about their parents as well, before you know it, you look at an individual who is made up of bits and pieces of all of those who came before him along his bloodline. So how can you believe that that internal makeup is going to permanently change? It takes centuries for humans to face the type of environmental changes and environmental influences that cause the human race to change completely as an adaptation to the environment. So there is no individual human being who is going to make the decision to change who they are. They only present themselves in a manner that is commensurate with the expectations of the people around them. So if a woman is a thought by nature, no matter how she tries to clean up her act to present herself to a man in a way that will make her be desirable as a mate, eventually her thought ways will resurface. And there is no getting around that. So you take the man who has married a known thought, he is setting himself up for eventual disappointment. It is not a matter of if she will revert to her thought ways, it is a matter of when. And that could be any time. It could take 6 years, it could take 6 months, it could be wedding night. That is why I have never dated a woman who had recently relocated to my area. I need to know her history. I need to know that the things that she is presenting to her new environment are also things that can be verified by searching her old environment, all of her past environments. And that is not something you can do, so I just avoid it. Let's take the woman who is a woman who respects herself, who thinks about the respect that other people have for her and prides herself in that respect from herself and others. See, no matter if she faces a situation that is going to cause her to act out, and incorporate thought behavior into her life. Deep down under the surface, when stripped down to the bare essence of her being, she is not that thought. She is a woman who is acting out as a means of dealing with whatever particular stimuli have affected her in her current environment. It is the same thing with a man. If a man is a thief, it does not matter if he becomes rich. Yes, he will not steal as much because the need to feed himself is no longer a motivation for stealing, but he will always find something to steal. If it is nothing but stealing money from the paychecks of his employees, once a man is a thief, he will always be a thief. And this is what you must understand, because the sanctified holy church Bible thumping people will tell you that God can change you. Yes, that is true. God can change anything, but you are who you are because this is the way you were created. So why would God then go against his own creation as if to say to himself, I have made a mistake with you. This is who you are really intended to be. So change. No, that is not the way it works. That is why the zebra still has stripes over all of these years. The only thing that happens is a person can make adaptations the same way animals do. The difference between us and animals is we dictate our environment. Animals don't. We encroach upon their environment and influence them to adapt if they want to survive. But with us, our environment is controlled mostly by our own actions. So yes, we can make adaptations to our environment. If you are soft and you end up in prison, you must play the role of a hard, toughened individual, even though that's not you. And in the right circumstance, the OU will show its head. It will rear its head. Whether you need it to or not, it will, because people do not change. We only suppress our authentic selves in an effort to become who those around us expect us to be. The bottom line to all of this is that people don't change. So if you're in a situation with a woman and she continues to tell you that she is different now, she has changed, or if you knew a woman to be a thought and you have decided that now that she seems to have matured, you will make her your woman or you will give her the time of day, you had better think twice and accept the fact that people do not change. There are three types of people in this world. There are people who are portraying an image of who they want to be. There are people who are portraying an image of who others want them to be. And there are the very few who are being their authentic selves. Are you being your authentic self? Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to whenever I upload some more of this realness. And as always, Alpha's up, Beta's down. Peace.